In today's lesson, we will discuss some applications and utilities of ChatGPT in the classroom. Well, let's get started. ChatGPT can be used in many different ways in the classroom environment. For example, it can be very useful when it comes to personalizing learning because we can ask it to generate exercises or to generate content adapted to the knowledge of a specific student. Afterward, we always have to check and clean up. These contents are appropriate. We will have to clean them up a little bit. Despite that, the main takeaway here is that we can generate differentiated content for different students quite easily. It can also serve the students themselves as a support tool. They will then be able to generate summaries, information on a specific topic, etc. On top of that, it could also be used as reinforcing tools for their writing and argumentation skills. One can ask ChatGPT to help you correct the style of a text, and for it to tell you, you can use ChatGPT as a correction tool. Another example could be beneficial when it comes to improving critical thinking and argumentation skills among students. Even though it can be very useful, we, as educators, have to inform the students that ChatGPT does not always tell the truth, although it seems it always does. Sometimes our AI assistant will invent things that seem very real. That is why, by explaining this to them, it can, in a way, foster their critical spirit. They can also use this tool to work collaboratively and discuss what ChatGPT is giving back to them. In addition, it also translates between languages and allows them to have conversations in different languages, therefore allowing them to learn new languages. Finally, I wanted to comment that although there are many more uses, it can help teachers to correct, for example, a text or to ask them to give you suggestions about something that the student has done, and it can help you focus yourself. We always have to keep something essential about the nature of this tool in mind. First of all, this tool uses artificial intelligence and it is online, and what this means is that ChatGPT will use everything you type and upload in the model, so we must be careful not to share personal data and be very careful with what we upload. The last thing we want is to reveal important personal data that could be used against us. Then again, I cannot stress this enough, our AI assistant can generate credible hallucinations and surreal scenarios. ChatGPT can be a fantastic tool that can help our students to learn, but we must always take it into account that it is our duty as educators to tell our students that not everything that ChatGPT says, no matter how real it sounds and how safe it seems to be, is true. In a way, this works similarly to Google search. But in this case, ChatGPT being a conversational tool that uses artificial intelligence and seems as if it is speaking to you, one can believe whatever it says more easily. In a similar fashion, we also have to note that our AI assistant has been trained with a series of data taken from the internet, but regardless, it will always reflect what has been put in the training model, and my point here is that it could be biased in some cases, which is something that our students must be wary of. So with this, I am going to end today's short lesson, in which I have given you an overview of some activities that can be done in the classroom and what problems an educator could potentially stumble upon if we decide on using ChatGPT in the classroom environment. Because what is clear is that we cannot try to ban, pretend it doesn't exist, or ignore its utility, and especially the fact that more and more students will be using it. That is why we believe it is much better if we incorporate it and try to learn from using it, rather than refusing to let them use it. By doing that, on one hand, we would be depriving them of learning a very useful tool, and on the other hand, we would be setting barriers in the class, which is something that we do not want to foster. I hope this has been insightful. See you in the next video. Thank you for your attention.